Drink, my child. This is the power of your ancestors.
They say that when two elephants fight, it is the grass that suffers. But in the modern Nigerian home, sometimes it is the child. This is the story of a modern mom versus a traditional mother-in-law. This is the story of a battle between in my days and according to the doctor. Meet Tenny, a content creator and a nurse. Her mind was a library of safety protocols. To Tenny, a house was not just a home, it was a potential hazard zone. In Tenny's house, if you don't wash your hands with soap, you don't touch the baby. Tenny reads labels like they are scriptures and saw Agbo, about concoctions, as a gamble with destiny. Then there was Mama Chinedu, the mother-in-law from the village headquarters. To Mama, germs are a myth invented by the British. Her motto is, what doesn't kill you makes you a strong Nigerian. She was the kind of mother-in-law who believed that the more a child cried, the stronger their lungs became. She believed that the dust on the floor was vitamins and that any sickness not cured by a hot prayer and a rub of mentholatum was surely from the village people. The tension began the moment Mama Chinedu's yellow taxi pulled up to the gate. She didn't come with just suitcases. She came with a Ghana must-go bag filled with the past. Inside were dried roots, bottles of unlabeled oils, and a mindset that had not been updated since the Civil War. Teniola, Mama shouted as she entered, bypassing Tenny's extended hand for a hug and heading straight for the toddler, Simi. Mama, welcome, Tenny said, her eyes tracking Mama's hands. Please, Ma, the sanitizer is right there on the console. I just cleaned Simi's play area. Mama Chinedu stopped mid-stride, her face contorting into a mask of mockery. Sanitizer? Tenny, is it the one they used to wash spirits? This child is my blood. My blood is clean. You and this your Oibo lifestyle. Did I use sanitizer when I was raising Chinedu? Look at him today. Tall like an Iroko tree, strong like a lion. I used the same hand I used to peel yam to feed him. He did not die. Tenny took a deep breath. This was day 1. She didn't know that day 14 would bring them to the edge of a grave. By the second week, a cold front hit Lagos. Little Simi, barely 18 months, started to sniffle. It was a minor congestion, the kind that a mother like Tenny treats with saline drops, a nose suction, and a humidifier. But to Mama Chinedu, Tenny's safety was actually neglect. Tenny, Mama called out from the kitchen where she was boiling something that smelled like old socks and sulfur. This child is barking like a dog. Why are you putting water in her nose? Are you trying to drown her? Bring her here. Let me give her the traditional update. Tenny walked into the kitchen, her nurse's instinct on high alert. Mama, what is that? It is the wisdom of your elders, Mama said, stirring a dark, oily liquid. Palm oil, salt, and a little bit of uda. It will coat her throat and kill the cough. And after that, we will rub her chest with mentholatum. Not the small one you buy in the pharmacy, the real one from the market. We will even put a little inside her nose so she can breathe. Tenny's voice went cold, the kind that cold precedes a storm. Mama, listen to me carefully. Simi's airways are small. If you put grease or mentholatum inside her nostrils, it can cause lipid pneumonia. It can block her breathing. And salt is a no-go for a baby her age. It can damage her kidneys. We are doing it the safe way, the doctor's way. Mama Chinedu dropped the spoon. The bas had begun. The doctor's way. You mean the people who want to keep selling you medicine? Tenny, don't tell me how to be a mother. I have buried elders and raised children. You are just a nurse. I am a veteran of life. The atmosphere in the house became thick. Every time Tenny used a thermometer, Mama would hiss. Every time Tenny checked the temperature of Simi's bathwater, Mama would murmur about soft children. Then came the fateful Tuesday. Tenny had a major branding meeting for her safety first content. She was hesitant, but Chinedu, her husband, assured her, Tenny, it's just 3 hours. My mom loves Simi. She won't do anything crazy. Tenny stood at the door, her car keys in her hand. She looked at Mama Chinedu, who was sitting on the sofa singing a traditional lullaby to Simi.
Mama, I am leaving Simi with you. Do not give her anything that is not in a prescription bottle.
Go well, my daughter. I know what I am doing.
If you were Teni, would you leave? Would you trust the love of a grandmother over the stubbornness of her traditions? Teni left, but she forgot her iPad, the one she needed for her presentation. The moment the gate clicked shut, the lullaby stopped. My poor grandchild, Mama Chinedu whispered, looking at Simi's slightly runny nose. Your mother wants to use science to starve your healing, but Mama is here. She went to her Ghana Must Go bag. She pulled out a small recycled plastic bottle. It contained a potent dark herbal mixture, Agbo JD. It was strong enough to purge an adult, let alone a toddler. She poured a generous amount into a spoon and added a pinch of salt for taste. Come, Simi, take power, Mama said. Simi, sensing the danger in the pungent smell, began to struggle. She began to cry, her mouth opening wide to protest. Mama Chinedu saw the opening and seized it. She forced the spoon into the child's mouth. Simi gagged. She coughed. The bitter, salty, oily liquid didn't go down the esophagus. It bypassed the trapdoor of the epiglottis and headed straight for the lungs. Simi's cry stopped, not because she was calm, but because she couldn't get air out. Mama Chinedu laughed initially. Hey, you see, it is bitter. That is how you know it is working. But then she noticed Simi's hands. They were clawing at the air. Simi's face, usually the color of rich cocoa, was turning a terrifying shade of dusky purple. Her chest was heaving, but no sound was coming out. Simi? Mama's voice trembled. Simi, stop playing. Swallow it. Simi collapsed onto the rug. Her eyes rolled back. Mama Chinedu panicked.
Simi, why are you not crying? Somebody help me.
She did what her mother taught her in 1955. She picked Simi up by the ankles and began to shake her, hoping the liquid would fall out. Then she took her finger, unwashed and rough, and shoved it deep into her throat to induce vomiting. This was the ultimate old way mistake. The finger pushed the blockage further down. The shaking caused the fluid in the lungs to settle deeper. Help! My village people! Chinedu!
Somebody help me!
Teniola, the baby is dying! Mama screamed, falling to her knees, her old tradition failing her in real time. The door flew open. Teni stepped in, breathless from running back for her iPad. She didn't need to ask what happened. The smell of the agbo and the sight of her daughter's limp body told the whole story. For a second, just one heartbeat, Teni felt the urge to scream, to tackle the old woman to the ground, to let out the rage of a mother betrayed. But Teni was a nurse, and a nurse does not have the luxury of panic. Move, Teni backed. It wasn't a request, it was a command that carried the weight of authority. She snatched Simi from Mama's trembling hands. She didn't pray, not yet. She didn't cry, not yet. She sat on the edge of the sofa, positioned Simi face down across her lap, her hands supporting the tiny jaw. Fwak! The first back blow. Fwak! The second. Mama Chinedu was wailing on the floor. I have killed her. Oh God of my ancestors, don't let me go to jail in Lagos. Fwak! The third. On the fourth blow, a sickening mixture of dark liquid and mucus sprayed onto the floor. Simi's body shuddered. A small, weak wheeze escaped her throat. Teni didn't stop. She flipped her over and checked her airway. She performed 2 quick chest thrusts. Suddenly, a loud, glorious, ear-piercing scream filled the living room. Simi was breathing. Simi was alive. Teni sat on the floor, clutching her daughter, her own tears finally falling, hot and heavy. She looked at the dark stain on her expensive rug, the stain of tradition that almost cost her everything. Mama Chinedu crawled towards them, her head bowed. Teni, I'm sorry. I thought I was helping. Teni looked at her mother-in-law. There was no hatred in her eyes, but a deep, weary sadness. Mama, Teni said, her voice trembling, you love this child, I know that. But love is not enough to keep a child alive in a world that has changed. My updates are not to prove I am smarter than you. They are to ensure that the children you raised can see their own children grow up. She pointed to the black bottle on the table. That bottle belongs in the trash. And your methods, Mama, they belong in the museum. If you want to stay in this house, you have to go back to school. Motherhood school. My school. 3 days later, the house was quiet. The Ghana must go bag was gone, sent back to the village. In the kitchen, Tenny was preparing her firewood banana bread. But she wasn't alone. Mama Chinedu was standing beside her. She wasn't holding a bottle of agbo. She was holding Tenny's phone, watching a video on infant CPR.
Tenny, Mama said softly, this boy in the video, he says if the child is choking on a coin, I should do the same thing you did. Tenny smiled, placing a hand on the elder woman's shoulder. Yes, Mama, the same thing. Mama nodded. Update is good. Even an old dog can learn to bark in English. The two women, the old way and the safe way, stood together over the stove. The war was over. Because they finally realized that being a super mom isn't about knowing everything. It's about being humble enough to learn what saves a life. And as the sun set over the bustling streets of Lagos, the neighborhood heard a new sound coming from Tenny's house. It wasn't the sound of fighting. It was the sound of a grandmother and a mother singing the same song to a sleeping child. A song of safety, a song of love, and a song of the new Nigeria. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the drama and the lesson, a like and a share goes a long way in supporting this journey. Don't forget to follow. What would you have done if you were Tenny? I'm reading every comment.